Hi everyone, it's Zoe from Book Reviews with Zoe, and today's video is my R Fantasy Bingo Board TBR. Now, if you don't know what R Fantasy is, it's a Reddit read-along every year that's done through Reddit, and there's a series of bingo boards that you fill out. Hopefully I put an image here, and you read books for it. There's rules that you can't read from the same author twice, and you can't double up prompts, and you also can't, you can only do one reread of a book that you've already read previous years. So yes, I have done this thing in the past, but I've never filmed a video. I usually just attempt to do it, and if I succeed, I succeed, and if I don't, I don't. But let's get into the books that I plan to read for R Fantasy 2025. Editing Zoe here, because when I was importing this video from R Fantasy, prompt number 1 didn't record for whatever reason. So prompt number 1 is Knights and Paladins. So for that, I am going to be reading The Iron Knight by Julia Kawakwa. I can never pronounce her last name. The reason why I'm doing this one is because I'm assuming it has a knight in it, because it's got knight in the title. But I need to read book 3 before I get to book 4. But yes, this is what I'm going to be reading for the Knights and Paladin prompt. Book 2 is, I've got my phone so I can actually remember the prompts. Prompt number 2 is Hidden Gem. So a book with under 1,000 ratings on Goodreads. New release and arcs from popular authors do not count. Following the spirit of the square, hard is must be published more than 5 years. So I'm going with, for this one, I'm going with this one here, which is Wormwood Abbey by Christina Bayer. I don't know. It's quite good. I've read this book already in the start of the month. And I think it's Hidden Gem, and it's by a Tasmanian author. So, and last I checked, it had less than 1,000 ratings. So, yeah. Prompt number 3 is published in the 80s. Richards read a book that was first published any time between 1980 and 1989. Hard mode is written by an author of colour. I didn't want to read any Stephen King, because Stephen King wrote a lot of books in the 80s, but I'm going to read an Octavia Butler book, which I've read before. I've read Kindred, which I absolutely gave that 5 stars, and now I'm going to be reading Wild Seed by Octavia Butler. It was published in 1980, and I know it's going to be really, really good, so looking forward to it. Prompt number 4 is High Fashion. I read a book where clothing, fashion or fibre arts are important to the plot. This can be a crafty main character or a setting where fashion itself is explored. Hard mode, the main character makes clothes or fibre. I found this one quite challenging to find, so thank you to the people that have suggested books on Storygraph. So I've gone with The Crimson Moth by Christina Ciccarelli. Apparently he invented some form of fibre fashion or something, so I'm going with it. Prompt number 5 is Down with the System. Read a book where a main plot revolves around disrupting a system. Hard mode is not a governmental system. I am going with, because this was also on the Storygraph suggestion, I'm going with One Dark Window by Rachel Killig. Zilak, I don't know. I've heard amazing things about this author and this duology, so this is the first one. I don't know how it fits the prompt, but I'm hoping it fits the prompt, and I don't know if it fits hard mode, but I'm looking forward to reading it. Prompt number 6 is impossible places. Read a book set in a location that would break a physicist. The geometry non-equilateral, the volume bigger on the inside, directions merely a suggestion. At least 50% of the book must take place within this impossible place. I didn't have any physical books that would meet this, so I'm going to be reading Mark Lawrence's The Book That Wouldn't Burn. I've heard amazing things. I've heard it's very weird and mind-bending, so I'm looking forward to it. So the next one is prompt number 7, which is the books in parts. Read a book that is separated in large sections within the main text. This includes things like acts, parts, days, years, and so, but it has to be more than just chapter breaks. Hard mode is the book has 4 or more parts. This one does not have 4 or more parts, but this one has parts. It is Bunny by Mona Aywood. It has 3 parts in this book. So yes, it fits this prompt. So prompt number 8 is Gods and Pantheons. Read a book featuring divine beings. Hard mode, there are multiple pantheons involved. I am going to be reading Rochelle Mead's Game Board of the Gods. I'm assuming it features gods because it's got gods in the title. Yes, so I'm looking forward to reading a Rochelle Mead book that is not the Vampire Academy series. So yes, looking forward to it. Prompt number 9 is last in a series. Read the final entry in a series. Hard modes of the series has got to have four or more books. This one definitely does not have 4 or more books, but it has a trilogy, and it is Lachlan's. Robert Jackson Ben's Lachlan's. This is the final book in the Founders Trilogy, book 3, and I've really enjoyed the first 2 books, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. The next prompt, read prompt 10 with a book club or read along. Either participate in our fantasy read along or book club pick for 2025, or one of the ones they've done previously over the years. So I'm going with the one from previously, and I've gone with The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I've heard amazing things about this book, and I'm finally going to read it after the hype, so I'm looking forward to it. Prompt number 11 is parent protagonist. Read a book where the main character has a child, or to care for the child does not have to be a child biologically related to the character. The child was also a main character in the story. I've gone for, this one's quite challenging, so I went to Storygraph again, and it had this one, which is In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. I've heard it's a family. I think it involves robots, so it's a former family, so I'm going for it. So yes. Prompt number 12 is Epistolary, a book that most prominently features any of the following: diary or journal entries, letters, messages, newspapers, clippings, and etc. I'm going with When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker because it occasionally has diary entries in it, so I'm going with it. Prompt number 13 is published in 2025. I haven't decided what book I'm going to read for this because I don't really know what's coming out so far, but I'll eventually find one, so I will read a book for this prompt. Prompt 14 is Author of Colour, so read a book by author written by an author of colour. So I'm going with The Merciless Ones by Namina Fauna. So yes, I'm looking forward to reading this. So prompt number 15 is read a book by a small press or self-published author. Book I'm reading this one, which is Blood of Steel by Helen Schuster. I don't have the dust jacket on it, and I've already started it. So I'm looking forward to this because this book is self-published. The spin-off series is main published, so in Australia, but this one is self-published. So yes. Prompt number 16 is Biopunk. Read a book that focuses on biotechnology or its consequences. This one was really hard, so I've gone to Storygraph and I'm going to read Jurassic Park book because I've never read it before, so looking forward to actually reading it. Prompt number 17 is Elves and Dwarves, a book featuring elves or dwarves. I'm going with this junky book, which is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. It is a brick, this book, and apparently it features elves and dwarves, so I'm looking forward to it. Prompt number 18 is LGBTQIA protagonist. So it's pretty much read a book with all of those. Or the hard mode is the character is marginalised in at least one additional axis, such as being a person of colour, disabled, member of ethnic, religious or cultural minority. This one does not meet the hard mode, but it meets the normal prompt. The easy mode prompt, which is Captive Prince by C.S. Pashat, which I finally want to read this trilogy because C.S. Pashat writes amazing books. So yes. So prompt number 5 is to read 5 short stories, as long as there is at least 5 of them. Hard mode is to read the entire short story anthology or collection. So I'm going with this book, which is This All Came Back Now, Anthology of First Nation Speculative Fiction. Yes, so I'm looking forward to reading this collection of short stories. I think there's more than 5 in here, and it's a whole collection, so yes. Prompt number 20 is Stranger in a Strange Land. Read a book that deals with being a foreigner in a new culture. The characters, or if there's a group, must be either visiting or moving in as a minority. So I'm reading The Will of Many by, I can't remember the author right here, but I'm going to be reading that book, so I'm looking forward to it. I've heard amazing things. Prompt number 21 was Cycle a Bingo Square. So I'm reading, what am I reading for this one? I am reading Golden Fool by Robin Hobb, and it's the 20-man trilogy, book number 2 of the trilogy. It fitted a prompt from like 2022 or something, so I'm reading that. So prompt number 22 is Cozy SFF Science. So I'm reading, and hard mode is a new author, but this is not a new author to me, but I'm going to be reading Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldier, because this is cozy fantasy and I really enjoyed his previous work, so I'm looking forward to this one. The next one is 23, generic title. Read a book that has more of the following words in it, which is blood, bone, broken, court, dark, shadow, song, sword, or throne. And hard mode is it has more than one, but this one doesn't only has one of them, which is A Court, This Cruel and Lovely by Stacey Stark, which I finished and I enjoyed. So, yep. So this fits this prompt. Prompt number 24 is not a book. Do something like, rather than read, watch a TV show, play a game, or watch a movie. So for that, I'm probably going to just randomly find some fantasy show that was axed on Netflix and watch an episode of that I've never watched. So that'll fit that prompt. And the last prompt for this is pirates. Read a book where the characters engage in piracy. Hard mode is not seafaring pirates. This definitely does not fit hard mode, but it definitely features pirates, and that is Storm of Pain by Opal Rain, and this is book 2 in the pirate duology that she's written, and I'm looking forward to finishing this duology. Thank you for watching my fantasy bingo TBR. Like this video, subscribe to this channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you all later.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.